Have you ever wondered how those monumental medieval castles were built? It's a question that sends us centuries back, to a time when architects and builders had to rely on rudimentary tools and sheer human strength. The construction of these architectural marvels was no easy feat. Imagine the scene: teams of masons, carpenters, blacksmiths, and laborers working tirelessly under the watchful eyes of a master builder. The stones, carefully selected from nearby quarries, were chiseled and set in place one by one in a process that could take decades. But what made these structures so formidable? It was their unique features, specifically designed to withstand enemy attacks. Moats, for instance, were not just decorative. They served as a first line of defense, a watery barrier that could deter would-be invaders. Watchtowers, strategically placed, offered panoramic views of the surrounding landscape. They were the eyes of the castle, allowing guards to spot approaching threats from miles away. And let's not forget the walls. Thick, high, and often reinforced with additional fortifications, they were the ultimate symbol of a castle's might. Inside these walls, a castle was a world unto itself. There were the dark, damp dungeons where prisoners were kept. There were the great halls where lords and ladies dined on sumptuous feasts. There were the private chambers, the chapels, the kitchens, and the stables, each space serving a specific purpose. These castles were not just homes, but fortified centers of power and defense. They are a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of our ancestors, a tangible link to a bygone era. As we continue to explore the fascinating world of the Middle Ages, let's keep in mind the incredible effort and skill that went into the construction of these medieval masterpieces. Imagine being a knight in the Middle Ages, bound by honor and duty. What was their life like? The life of a knight was not for the faint-hearted. It was a life of discipline, courage, and unyielding devotion to a code of conduct known as chivalry. This chivalric code, a unique blend of Christian ethics and military ethos, required knights to be brave in battle, loyal to their lord and king, and protective of the weak and innocent. Knights were the backbone of the feudal system, a social order that defined the Middle Ages. Swearing fealty to a feudal lord, they pledged their military service in exchange for land and protection. This bond of loyalty was the heart of the feudal system, a network of mutual obligations and duties that held society together in an era of constant warfare and uncertainty. But knights were more than just warriors. They were also members of elite orders of knighthood, such as the Templars. These orders played a pivotal role in the Crusades, the holy wars waged by Christians to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim rule. The Templars, known for their white mantles adorned with a red cross, were both fearsome warriors and devout monks embodying the dual nature of the knight as a soldier and a servant of God. The life of a knight was also defined by quests, perilous journeys undertaken in pursuit of a noble goal. These quests, often depicted in medieval romances, were not just physical journeys but spiritual ones as well. They symbolized the knight's relentless pursuit of the ideals of chivalry, courage, justice, and nobility of spirit. These knights were heroes, their lives a constant quest for courage, justice, and nobility. Whether on the battlefield or on a quest, they strive to uphold the chivalric code and live up to the ideals of knighthood. In their honor and duty, we find a fascinating glimpse into the life of the Middle Ages, a time of warriors and castles, of knights and their quests. Did you know the Middle Ages were rife with conspiracies and intrigue? Let's delve into the shadows of history. Picture the grand castles we've explored, the noble knights we've admired. Now imagine the secrets whispered in hushed tones within those stone walls, the clandestine meetings held in shadowy corners. The Middle Ages were a time of power struggles, political maneuvering, and hidden agendas. In the corridors of castles and the courts of kings, intrigues and betrayals were as common as the feasts and tournaments. The thirst for power and influence was unquenchable, and many resorted to underhanded tactics to achieve their ambitions. Assassins were contracted, coups d'état were planned, and alliances were formed only to be broken when the winds of power shifted. Consider, for instance, the Knights Templar. This renowned order of knights, once revered and powerful, became the target of one of history's most notorious conspiracies. The Templars were guardians of immense wealth and knowledge, and their influence threatened the church and the monarchies of Europe. In the early hours of Friday, the 13th of October, 1307, King Philip IV of France ordered their arrest and suppression under accusations of heresy and other crimes. This conspiracy against the Templars, orchestrated by a king and sanctioned by a pope, illustrates the lengths to which individuals and institutions would go to consolidate power and control. It's a chilling reminder of the political and societal complexity of the Middle Ages, a complexity that often lay hidden beneath the surface of chivalry and honor. Behind the grandeur of castles and the valor of knights, the Middle Ages were a complex web of power and influence. The intrigues and conspiracies of this time continue to captivate us, offering a deeper understanding of the human story woven through the centuries. From the imposing castles to the brave knights and the intriguing conspiracies, the Middle Ages are a treasure trove of history and culture. As we journeyed through the architectural marvels of medieval castles, we saw the innovation and craftsmanship of the era. We explored the life of knights, their courageous quests, and their unwavering devotion to chivalry. We delved into the world of intrigue and conspiracies, where power and influence were constantly at play. Each of these elements paints a vivid picture of a bygone era, a time of both grandeur and complexity. The Middle Ages are not just a period in history, they are a canvas of human spirit, achievement, and resilience. I hope this exploration has sparked a curiosity within you, a desire to uncover more about this fascinating era. As we close this chapter, we hope you're inspired to open another, continuing your journey through the fascinating world of the Middle Ages.